Hi there, and welcome to changelifeforever.co.uk. It's Scott talking, your host of the podcast. And today we were going to talk about why empathy is important because it really is a skill that you can learn, but it's something that a lot of people really don't get. And when you put it down to the basics, it is about looking at people's situations and walking in their shoes, and having some sympathy for how they might react to something. Because in life, just because we think something's easy doesn't necessarily mean somebody else does. And what we might think is really hard, somebody else might not think it's hard. You know, me going through a divorce and you going through a divorce are going to have two completely different outputs. So it's really important that when you learn to communicate with people, that you understand where they're coming from and why they're feeling like that. It's like a lot of people complain about the boss at work or angry bosses and management or whatever, but sometimes they forget about that person and the reason why they're like that. They're probably under pressure, they've got budgets, they've got to make people redundant, they've got decisions to make, they've probably got stress at home, probably stress all over the place, because naturally people don't want to be angry, people don't want to be upset, people want to be happy. No one really chooses to be like that. We're just made like that sometimes. And I think if you can actually sit down and have a conversation with people where you listen to their thoughts, their feelings, then it makes you a stronger person because you see things from their perspective. It allows you to become empathic in the sense that, you understand, oh my God, actually, I never thought about something like that. I never seen it from that angle. I didn't realize that the way that you looked at it was completely different than me. And it is all about not interjecting, but listening. Teenage kids, right? A prime example. You know, the the it doesn't matter some days. They don't like you. And I know this with my teenage son. He's absolutely wicked and I love him to bits. And sometimes hormones take over and he thinks I'm an absolute idiot. Other days he loves me to absolute moon and back. But understanding why he's in that mood, understanding why he doesn't want to speak to me one day or he's not very happy is what makes you a better person inside. Because I'm not going to go to him and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be moody, this, that, and the other, pull your finger out, do this, do that." I understand emotionally why he's feeling like that. What can I do to help? Is there anything I can do to help? If I can't, then you leave it. If I can, then I do. But everybody's feelings dictate how they react, how they are feeling, and just because somebody is not presenting themselves in a good way to you doesn't mean that they're a bad person, doesn't mean that they're unkind, doesn't mean that they're a nasty person. It just means that at that point in time, when you were talking to them, when you were getting to know them, that you didn't understand how they were feeling about a given thing. And it really does empower you. It empowers you to understand and not take things personally because again, people say and do things without realizing it sometimes, but we can take it personally ourselves. But by sitting down and understanding with that person, did you really mean to say that? Why did you say that? What was the meaning behind it? Were you frustrated? Anything else? What was going on? Then that helps you as a person grow exponentially because then you have answers to the questions that are going around in your head rather than you questioning yourself, well, why did they do that? Why did they say this? They must have been out to hurt me. They must have, you know, not like me or whatever. It allows you to ask good questions of people. Look, I'm really sorry, but I took that in a different way than I think you meant it. But could you explain to me, did you really mean to upset me? And they'll say yes or no. If they said yes, then obviously, there's more conversations on that. But most of the time, people will say no because they weren't being empathic towards you. And, building great relationships is really around that empathy because we all understand that everybody can have bad days, everybody can have bad times, but we need to be open minded enough to put ourselves in that person's shoes and understand why they might do those things and not necessarily make up our own minds for them, but actually ask the questions, listen to what the answers are. And at work is a great example. Again, when people ask you to do stuff, your boss or whatever, just reinforce what it was they were asking you to do, because what they might have said to you might be something completely different. Do you know what I mean? And just being empathic is a great skill. It's a really great skill, and I guarantee that if you listen to people, understand their feelings, understand their thoughts, you might not agree with them, and that's okay too. But understanding how people feel will make you a stronger person. And when you come across that situation yourself, you will know how to respond in the right way yourself too. So empathy, really, really important thing, guys. Try and listen to others, try and understand, try and put yourself in their shoes, and also put yourself in that situation too. So that's all I've got to say today on empathy is important. There's loads more hints and tips on changelifeforever.co.uk/blog on that particular subject. And also, if you fancy joining me on the transformation journey, where I send you daily videos every day to give you inspiration, to give you tips and hints and stuff, then come and join me on changelifeforever.co.uk. And I wish you a great week ahead. Take care. See you soon. Scott.